What happened here? Why did all the bidders go away?
You know, I guess there's different reasons. It depends on which companies we're talking about. I think Salesforce, and that was always the company that was the most interested, the most likely to buy Twitter. The investors really were not happy with the idea of this company worth, say, $50 billion, Salesforce, spending $15 or $20 billion. And any deal that they would have to do was going to need a lot of stock in it because Salesforce is not sitting on a ton of cash. Given the size of the company, they have maybe $1 billion in cash on the books. So there would have to be a big stock component. And their shareholders, Fidelity and others like that, were not happy of the idea of a deal. Whereas with Disney, I think Disney thought they could be the kind of the hidden one who would sneak in and maybe make an offer and surprise everybody else. They were really, really angry that their name got out there. And it in some ways, it feels like they walked away because they were so peeved, so annoyed that their name was in the mix. And with Google, it was never really clear they were all that interested. I think they had hired a bank, they had hired Lazard to take a look, but they never really made a bid. They never really were as engaged or as interested as what we had picked up on from Salesforce.
So, Jeff, it seemed like Salesforce was really front and center in sort of the rumor mill bid. Does that mean then for the right price, if we're going back to like $15.75, which is where all the rumors started for Twitter, that a deal can actually get done?
My feeling is, Alex, that a year from now, Twitter's going to be owned by somebody else. It just might not happen in October of 2016. It might be something that happens whether it's next month or in 6 months. Eventually, someone's going to buy Twitter. I mean, it's interesting that we reported Saturday that the sales process was on, someone said to us, it's on life support, so it's barely alive. But then Sunday, we had the U.S. presidential debate, and it was the most tweeted debate ever. So obviously, Twitter has become part of the DNA, if you will, of big news, whether we're talking about a debate or a Super Bowl or an NFL game or what have you. But how it can grow and how it can make money, that's the real question. And it seems like the people that are running it now are not able to find a way to make it profitable. And eventually it's going to be in someone's hands who I think will better manage it, if you will, have a strategy that can make it profitable.
Jeff, what would Twitter have learned from the process over the last couple of weeks? Looking at the prospective buyers as it came out in the news, have they learned anything about what maybe they should be based on the buyers that did come forward on the margin?
I don't think they learned anything new. I think, if anything, they just know they're going to have to find a strategy that works, whether it's, lining up with the NFL and some live events and live activities. They're going to have to find growth. I think that's the other issue, is it's hard for someone, especially if you're Salesforce at $50 billion. I mean, a $20 billion deal is what we're talking about. It's hard for them to do a deal buying a company that's not making money and is not growing. So I guess, if anything, if nothing else, Twitter's going to have to find a way for more growth.